Welcome back to Let's Parent on Purpose, midway through the week, midway through my list of the 5 characteristics that I see make for a sticky faith. How do you go from youth group faith, faith that was your mom and dad's, faith that was your pastors or your friends, to making it your own? This week we've covered 2 of them already. We talked about truth that you understand, how you need to not just hear the truth, but understand the truth and then own it as your truth, not your parents, not your pastors, but your own. And then secondly, relationships that shape you. You got to have godly relationships, people that you can pour into, people that pour into you. You become like the people that you spend the most time with. The third characteristic, as I have been in ministry for over 25 years at this point, that I see helps build a lasting faith is when you begin to develop habits that you own. So I was thinking about my own life, and it's kind of wild because I put my faith in Jesus when I was 6 years old, and I would absolutely say that my faith was my own. Now, my mom and dad had the same faith. It was easy for me to want to come to Christ because I trusted them and they helped point me to the Lord. But at the same time, I know that my faith was my own. It wasn't because of them. However, it wasn't until I was 18 years old that I began to own the habits of the faith, where I'm not memorizing a Bible verse because I get a trophy in my elementary, Awana group, where I'm not just studying this thing because our youth group is doing it and I'm just there and consuming. It wasn't until really I began as a freshman in college that I committed to reading the Bible every day because I needed it. It wasn't until I was a freshman in college that I, began to have that regular time of prayer. But I do look back and see along the way there were other habits that I own. I have a friend that says your habits are perfectly suited to give you the life that you have. So if you don't like your life, change your habits. You want to change your life, change your habits. This is just continually, it's the message of Scripture. Psalm chapter 1 says, "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And on his law he meditates day and night. He's like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in season. Its leaf does not wither. In all he does, he prospers." What does this person do? They delight in the law of the Lord and they meditate on it day and night. It's somebody with the habit of spending time with God. Your habits shape your faith far more than your intentions. You think about this in sports. Well, I want to be a star basketball player. How much do you practice? I want to get good at guitar. Great. How much do you practice? I want to be better in school. How much are you studying? Your intentions kind of don't really mean anything. Your habits are creating who you are. So I would encourage you, start small, but stay consistent. Guided by faith is an incredible habit. That's a great one to add. It's 6 to 8 minutes a day, depending on how wordy I am. And it gives you something to think about. It gives you something to chew on and meditate. Add to that your own personal time in Scripture. Add to that time in prayer. And all of a sudden you begin to build out these habits that shape you. And the best way to make a habit an actual habit is for it to be a part of the regular rhythm of your life. For instance, do you have to think about when you're going to brush your teeth in the morning? I hope you brush your teeth, but you probably don't have to think about it much. It's just a natural part of your day. Do you think about, when you're going to jump on your phone and swipe through things? Probably it's just an ingrained habit. And so what I find is if I have a consistent time and a consistent place and a pretty consistent plan, I will be pretty faithful in my habits. So for me, my time with the Lord is shortly after I get up, I walk my little doggy, I get my cup of coffee, I sit down, and my habit consists of these 4 things most days. I read a section of Scripture as I read through the Bible. I do my renewed gratitude journal that I, got to write that book and now I can actually use it. I have a 5-year journal where I write 5 lines a day of what happened yesterday. So I kind of review, and then I get to read through last year and the year before that and see what I was doing. And then I spend time in prayer, asking the Lord to bless my family members, to help me in my day. And then I pray for what he has. So that is my built-in habit. And the way it works is I have a consistent time, a consistent place, and a pretty consistent plan. And there's variety in that. I don't have to do it then because it's kind of built into who I am. So I'm going to make it happen. Just like if you miss brushing your teeth after a few hours, you feel like, ugh, I need to brush my teeth. I feel that way about time with the Lord right now. It's like, I missed it. I feel it. I want it. If you want to be a sticky, lasting disciple, you've got to own the habits of the faith. It can't be somebody spoon feeding you all the time. So this summer season is a perfect time for you to develop habits. What are you going to do? When are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it? And then just commit to doing it, because your habits are perfectly suited to give you the life that you have, and your habits are perfectly suited to give you the level of faith and walk with Jesus that you have. You want them to be better? Pay attention to your habits.